Whenever you're ready. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to our meeting for the township for this month. I'd like to start tonight's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. We did move the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, everybody. Can I have a roll call of officer?
Sure. Collector Karen Johnson.
Here.
Highway Commissioner Mr. Love.
Here.
Assessor Debbie Nathan.
Here.
Clerk Denise Mushrow is absent. Trustee Boyce.
Here.
Trustee Delaney.
Here.
Trustee Morelli is absent. Trustee Vickers is absent. Supervisor Albert.
I'm here.
Attorney Gary Miller.
All right, thank you.
We have it.
Next on the agenda is, at this point, Jim being our new highway commissioner, I would like to introduce Jim. He's going to be taking over for the Janet Swilinski, who is untimely death. I would like to swear him in this morning or this afternoon. Please move up to the podium. I'm understanding that I have the authority to do the swearing in, since our clerk is not able to be here today. So Jen, or Jim? I'm going to have a hard time with Jim and Jen. You guys should have been Dave, to be honest with you. So Mr. Lausch, Jim Lausch, please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, James Lausch.
I, James Lausch.
Have been elected to the office of Highway Commissioner.
Have been elected to the office of Highway Commissioner.
In the county of Will.
In the county of Will.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America.
I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Lockport Township Highway Commissioner.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties of Lockport Township Highway Commissioner.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to working with the Highway Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
One more?
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you very much. Okay.
I know we're like.
That being done, we'll move on to the agenda of the approval of the minutes of September 10th for the Highway Road and Bridge meeting. Everybody should have the meeting minutes in your packet. I do need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. You have the bills for the highway of $78,580.63. I do need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. Any questions of the bills tonight? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Boyce,
Yes.
trustee Delaney,
Yes.
supervisor Alberto.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay, at this point, we'll ask the citizens wishing to address the board. I know, Bob, you, the lady who
Yeah.
said you wanted to ask a question first.
Yeah, I just wanted for clarification purposes, and I don't know who to direct this to, either to you, Ron, supervisor, or to Gary Mueller. On September 20th, we had received, all the trustees had received a letter from our township clerk stating that the new highway commissioner, Mr. Jim Lausch, cannot simultaneously hold the office of the Lockport Township Highway Commissioner, that is in effect October 1st he started, and serve as a park board member. She had also enclosed in that the opinion of Phil Mock, who serves as our assistant state's attorney, basically reiterating what she had said. So I guess my question here tonight, to make sure if that process was not done yet, if it is going to be, and was it okay, I guess, to have him sworn in if this was not been done yet?
Do you want me to answer that?
You can start and then
I'll take a stab at it. Of course, I'm not an attorney, but we follow the state statute as appointing him, and whether we don't have the authority as a board to deny him the office that we approved him of, it's his decision when, whether he wants to step down or not. And I believe, Jim, I don't know if you've gotten his letter, but he did, I should have brought it down, I did make copies for everybody, I apologize for that. They are up in my office. He is asking the Attorney General's opinion to clarify whether or not, because I don't, it's my opinion that we've had people on this board, myself included, that were on two boards at the same time. And I was a voting member on both boards. I was on the library board for about 10 months when I became a trustee. And I asked the opinion of our attorney at the time, and he said he didn't think there was any conflict of interest. I did ask the library board's attorney at the time, and they told me there was no conflict of interest. We had a trustee that worked on this board for 4 years that was also on the high school board for 4 years. He was a voting member on both boards. And he asked the high school attorney if it was legal and if it was any conflict of interest. He was told by the high school lawyer that he didn't think there was any conflict of interest. We did ask our attorney, and at that time he didn't believe there was any conflict of interest. So now we're coming to a highway commissioner who has no vote on this board, just votes on the library, or on the, the park district board. It's my opinion that it would be the library or the park district that would have to ask him to step down or get off one board or the other. It's his decision when to do that. And since he is looking to get that answered through the state, not the Attorney General's office, I mean State's Attorney General,
So you're going to, well, let me ask Jim then, are you going to the state's attorney or to the Attorney General?
I believe that the authority of the Attorney General, we submitted the letter to
Okay, so you
to
did
the
submit
Attorney
that.
Letter,
Okay.
to the Attorney General,
Okay.
and naturally I'll abide by whatever they come
Oh,
down.
okay. All right.
And Bill, I'm going to tell you that too, whatever the decision is from the Attorney General is what I'm going to abide by.
Okay, and when did you do that?
I submitted paperwork to the supervisor and those dates are on there.
yeah, those dates are on. I'll give you a copy of that.
All right.
I'll send that to you. And it was while I was gone, so that had to be.
Okay, because I know this was all happened, of course, while you went on your vacation,
Yeah,
so I just wanted to know.
I left the 17th when I got back on whatever it was, a week and a half later, it was on the desk.
Okay,
So,
all right. Well, as soon as you get the paperwork, forward to us, so us trustees know what's going on too, because I know Mr. Morelli had a few questions, but he's not here. But like I said, if we just get those questions answered.
Yeah, additionally, I submitted the same paperwork to the Park District too, and again, they're aware, and I will abide by whatever the Attorney General says.
Okay, all right, thank you.
and I don't know whether I'm right or not, maybe the attorney can correct me, but I don't think we have any authority on this matter of making a step down.
It's really something that Mr. Lausch will address and handle. He's assured us that that's what he's going to do. The concern that I don't mean to speak for Mr. Lausch, but I think part of the concern is that the opinion given by Mr. Mock appears to cite a statute other than the one that actually controls the highway department. It is a different statute, and at least the reference that's made talks about a different section. Also, the reference that's made talks about a voting member of a board who then is a voting member of another board, and the voting on the first board may affect financial type of decisions from the second board. I don't know that is at all applicable to Mr. Lausch. In 28 years I've been lucky enough to do this. I've never had a situation with our district we had to worry about a funding issue, for example, that this township board has been asked to do that. We've had some situations where it's been program related. For example, in this room, sometimes there are intergovernmental agreements just on whether the practitioner can use a rumor. But it's never, at least in my opinion, I don't recall ever having a situation where it was money related, which is where the main concern is behind having positions in two different boards, that they're money related.
All right. So I just wanted to clarify all that since we got these letters. So. Okay. Thank you.
Any other citizens wishing to address the board?
Yes.
We'd ask you to come up to the podium, state your name for the record.
My name is Bill Passalia. I live at 1201 Illini Avenue in Lockport, 60441. I also have, I believe the correct code is under Resolution 2016-1, paragraphs 2 and 3. I have these other citizens of Lockport who wish to delegate their time to me. It is in regards to the, here I can pass this down. So this is, they should probably already have this. This is from the meeting when Jim was put through. But I've numbered the pages on the bottom, and the first one was what the agenda was on 9/12. The second one is, if you go to the second whereas, it says the resident, township, and all other manners qualified to serve in such capacity. And Jim does not serve, does not qualify. If you take a look at page number 21, if that marked down as 21. Page 21 is the Illinois Statute 50-105-2, CH 102, paragraph 2A township officials. No township supervisor or trustee during the term of office for which he or she is elected may accept, be appointed to or hold any office by the appointment of the Board of Township Trustees unless he or she first, not subsequently, resigns. So that's, whether he does it subsequently or not, and whether you talk to any attorney, this is what's in the statute. Let me see. Number 4 is just a copy of that statute. You can review it. Now, the other thing that's interesting here is on page 5. On page 5, it was the Lockport Township Republican organization who endorsed me. And they came with a letterhead, if you notice that, and then also a signature. And it was hand-delivered. Then the next page is the voting rights. The next page is Jim's qualifications. So we see it's page 7. And, he has, I don't see a lot of supervisory work here, and I don't see that I see that he worked for the prison, and he was a truck driver. Now, we also on page 8, we have the voting record of Jim Lausch. And then number 9, and the reason that they're in order is this is the order that they were sent to me through email. So this is not in any not necessarily order of priority. Next one is Darren Deskin. This was his request to be included in. He has no resume. He has no recommendations from anybody. So why he was even allowed to speak, I don't understand it. We'll get into the statutes later. Here's the resume of Bill Passalia. You can see what a great guy I am, how extensive my credentials have been. I've worked all over the United States in forming various companies, also in Zambia where I've built roads and built orphanages. Then here's Jim Lausch's, and this is from Jim Lausch because there's a letterhead, up on top. the previous one was for me because there's my name on the letterhead. Darren Reston, you know it's from Darren Reston because his name is on the letterhead. You know the other one was from the state of Illinois because that name is on the letterhead. Okay, so let's move into the next one. The next one is kind of dubious. Number 15. Number 15. Who is this from? There's no letterhead on this. Nothing. I mean, is this from who? You know, and somebody recommends this guy, Jim Roach.
It is on
But-
the second page.
Hold it.
It
Now
is
let
on
me
the second-
finish. I've got them all in order.
All right.
Now what happened is, I don't know if any of you are notaries or legal, but you don't put a signature page on a separate page. As a notary, any notary would know that. And the other thing is that on a signature page, you put signatures down. There are no signatures. Also, the organization that is to recommend the person was from the party that was elected. Now we'll get into that a little bit later. But here, as a matter of fact, what I did on, let me see if I have it here. 60. Number 16. Okay, so we don't have anybody's name on it. It's not the representative, but here's another big point, Ron, is we're talking about Lockport Township. This isn't Cook County. This isn't the state of Illinois. This isn't the federal government. This is the township of Lockport. So the people that would represent the township of Lockport would be the Republican organization of the township of Lockport. There's no notary on this page. There's no header on either one of these pages. And if it can be accepted, how can it be accepted without any signatures or notary? In order to confirm the authenticity of this letter, I actually went to one of the supposed signers on 10/2 at October 2nd, 19. Someplace between 6 and 8 p.m. I was at Prairie Bluff Golf Course, and there I talked to Steve Bellich. And I asked him, what's up, man? I mean, how could you do this? I mean, you're not even in this organization, so how could you do it? Steve said to me that he wrote no letter and signed no letter. Now, we know he didn't sign one, and I'm just wondering if this is some kind of forgery or what's being done here. It's rather a serious charge. If these people, in fact, did endorse Jim, they're not representatives of the Township of Lockport. They're outside of the Township of Lockport. They're in Will County. But the party who endorsed the candidate is the party of Lockport Township, Republican organization of Lockport Township. The letter is not from Lockport Township. Now, in number 18, this is the letter from Glasgow. And if you take a look at the letter from Glasgow, if you go on page 18, Phil Mock says, it's a matter of deference to consider a potential candidate suggested by the office of the vacated office holder's political party, which is, in this case, Lockport Township Republican Party. The letter of recommendation, if real or not, or possibly a forgery, was not from an office holder or an employee of the Lockport Township organization. Number 19 is from our illustrious attorney. And, you know, the attorney is hired, and he went through many years of law school. He's probably been practicing law for a couple of months now. And this is his opinion. In his opinion, he says, the political party is afforded the opportunity to present a name to fill the vacancies. It's not within the board's power to insert and vote for a person to fill that vacancy, even if it is considered from the same party, political party. Well, he's not from, first of all, this letter was not from the Lockport Republican Party. Now, also, then for some reason, Gary sends another letter. Why would he do that? He did that because somebody went around him and sent a letter to the state's attorney, which I'll address later. But Jim then says on page 20, statute requires a party to submit a substitute name, and it's more than custom, it is more custom than statutory requirements. Now, what that means is there's not laws for everything. Like, for instance, if you come to an intersection, and on the intersection, somebody is on the right and the other one's on the left. It's not written, there's no stop sign, but as a matter of course, customary, person on the right has the right of way. So just because it's not in the statute doesn't mean it's not legal. But it's been something that's been accepted over the years. And then on the second paragraph, he said, I'm referring to what I've seen done in the past as more of a custom or a practice. Okay, now, on page 21, which is really interesting, and this is the term of the office, and we already went over that. During the term of the office, he must first resign. Not when he has a chance or when somebody else says, it says first. Now, what's interesting on page 22 is where Jim went and quickly got signed in, which I'm not really sure why, but I believe the person that was supposed to sign him in wasn't here or was sick or something else. And but Ron said at the meeting it was going to be October 1st. So what is this signature on the 18th about? I mean, why was it so important that Ron gets over there, or Jim gets over there and gets brought in? And then the last page, 23, is the letter that Barb had alluded to, and that is, we're told that he's supposed to do it before he starts serving on October 1st. But that is not what the law says. What the law says is in order to qualify, he must first resign. So, I would present that because this was so many irregularities here, and against so many statutes, that he wasn't recommended by the party that he's supposed to be recommended by. He's recommended by somebody outside of our borders, yet that would take that into our Lockport meeting as an authority. And that's one thing. The other thing is that it states right here is before he does that, he's to resign, and he didn't. And then he's given time here on this letter from our clerk that he better do it before the 1st, and that's ignored too. So it doesn't seem like this was done at all lawfully or according to statute or according to recommendations by our attorney.
Hey, Bill, I'm going to interrupt you for a second because this is a question that I want to ask. I guess it's going to be directed toward our attorney because it's a legal question, I guess. Because you said numerous times, basically, that the word first means that obviously the highway commissioner, this is where I'm getting confused, so I guess I need clarification too. It perfectly states that no township supervisor or trustee during the term of the office for which he or she is elected may accept, be appointed, and so on, but they have to first resign. But then when we look at the information from another attorney, it says, the one line that is where I was getting confused is that it says, this means that the highway commissioner is appointed the same as any other township officer would be appointed. This is where I get confused, because if we're supposed to be treating the highway commissioner as the same from the letter that we got from the state's attorney, why is it saying the township code? Like I said, I just want clarification. So can you clarify it?
I would love to accept. Since it's from Phil, what I would ask is that we make a request to Phil so he can explain the basis for his. Because I wouldn't want to put any words in his mouth as to what he was doing. On the item that's on line, page 21, however, what I will cite to you or suggest to you is the verbiage in A, and I'm only reading it now as we're sitting here, specifically says no township supervisor or trustee during the term of their office for which they have been elected may accept, be appointed to or hold any office by the appointment of the board of township trustees. So if you go backward a little bit, that's talking about a supervisor or trustee.
Right.
It doesn't mention the highway commissioner.
Correct.
So it would, I haven't obviously researched it to tell you, but I think that might fall in line with when you have a situation where a trustee, we have a vacancy in the supervisor, which we've had before, unfortunately, in like 28 years here. And in those situations, when the board selected someone from the same party who happened to also be a trustee, the way the procedure had to go was that trustee had to resign and then take it on faith that the same board would then allow him to be appointed to the supervisor. But for that quick second there, while he or she has resigned, they're resigning in good faith that someone's going to think that that's what this is referring to, as opposed to a vacancy fill for highway commissioner.
Right, I understand that's a difference. Jim's situation is totally different. It's not elected, he's appointed because of the situation. So I just wanted to clarify, because I'm always reading two different things.
Understood, and as I said, the A appears to highlight supervisor or trustee, and A really doesn't, at least unless I'm not reading right, doesn't have any reference to highway commissioner.
All right.
And if I may say, so this refers to township government supervisor trustee, not township park district trustee. So it really doesn't apply for him to have to resign first before accepting an appointment for a paid township position.
And this doesn't say.
This basically,
So,
go ahead.
I was just going to reiterate, it also doesn't say highway commissioner. Yeah. There is another section, and that's part of what I believe Mr. Lausch should now ask the Attorney General for an opinion for it, because the section that Mr. Lausch is asking about specifies and designates highway commissioner, as opposed to what Mr. Lausch's argument, and I don't need to put words in his mouth, but I think his argument with Mr. Mock's representation is Mr. Mock's representation doesn't address highway commissioner. It has to do with the more generalized township law. And there is a whole separate section for township highway commissioners, because that's a whole separate taxing body, a whole separate taxing entity, a whole different procedure.
It's a whole different code, and as I stated, whatever the Attorney General comes up with, I'll abide by.
Okay.
I also didn't get the questions answered in regards to the party that he was supposed to be submitted by the party that...
Nowhere in state statute does that.
No, it's not a statute. It's not. I never said it was a statute. It was recommended by the state's attorney, and it was recommended by our attorney that we
Understand that. But every time we've had a situation where a vacancy approached, was in this board, we've asked the party that was to replace it for their opinion, for their suggestion, which is exactly what I did for this position. We've never had another name ever suggested or brought forward. This is the first time we did. And as supervisor, I believe we have to be, since the state statute says we don't have to just accept the one, I felt I had to accept. I have to accept every name that came in. 40 names would have came in, I would have had 40 names suggested.
See, but here's the difference, Ron, is that Jim was not recommended by the party of Lockport.
It doesn't,
A
that's
township.
not what state statute says it has to.
It's the party that suggested, does in both attorneys' letters.
I understand what you're saying, but that's why I went to the state's attorney to get his opinion, and because I read the state statute myself, and nowhere in the state statute did it say I have to only accept the party's.
Both attorneys suggested that you accept who was recommended. Both attorneys and...
Excuse me. I have the floor now. All right? Let's get this straight. I have to follow state statute. The state statute says basically it has to be replaced with a Republican, a voting Republican. He has to prove that he's a Republican, and in good standings. And I had 3 names given to me. I went down to the state, the clerk's office to find out their voting record. She gave it to me. They're all good Republicans, so I felt I have to put them all on the floor.
Okay, my last point is that they were not recommended.
I still have the floor. So I brought all 3 names to the floor. Your name came up first. And this is a democracy. And we have to follow the democratic or the way things work. You didn't get the votes. You have, your party, actually one of your members didn't vote for you. So that left the floor open. And then I got a motion. I didn't make the motion. Your party made the motion. And it passed. We have to follow democratic rule. And that's democracy working, and we have to accept that. That's just the way it is, I guess. Am I correct in that?
Now, do I have the floor? What was said
You know,
is
I'll
what
be
was
honest with you.
recommended, Ron, now I got it. You asked me a question. What was recommended is that the party that was in charge, who got John elected, be the one that submits the name. Jim submitted his own name on his own piece of paper. And it wasn't by any, look at the letterhead, there's no Republican thing on there. Darren didn't even submit anything from the Republican Party. So, I mean, if the rules are that you have to be presented by the Republican Party or Democratic Party, then that's what should be. Not that anybody can come in and do it. If it is anybody that can do it, then you have to post that. And you have to post it publicly so other people can come in and do what you had suggested.
It sounds to me like you're upset that you didn't get it. Now,
No, I'm upset the laws were not followed.
You said it's the law. It's not the law. It's the suggestion. That's the difference. It's a suggestion that we take the name, but there was 3 names put there. What am I supposed to say? You're not supposed to get it, and you can't put your name in. Only you can put your name in.
What the 2 attorneys
That
said,
sounds
Ron,
like it's a pretty fixed.
no, what the 2 attorneys said is put forth by their party. Put forth by their party. That was a suggestion from our attorney and from the state's attorney. That's what they said in their letters, in more than one letter. And Jim put forth his own, not on the letter of any Republican Party, and Darren didn't even put something forward. So, I mean, it seems a little fishy to me, but I just wanted to make sure that we got all that known throughout the
But
township.
the state of Illinois does not recognize the township as the party. It's only they recognize the county. But
Pardon me?
I think the state of Illinois only recognizes the county and not the townships as the organizations.
I didn't see that statute. Could you tell me where that is, Jim?
And to tell you the truth, it's just something in the back of my mind. I'm not even sure.
I think there's a lot of stuff in the back of your mind that went through this. So,
let's
might want to look at it.
I know, I'm done. I made my statement. Thank you.
Let's have order here. This is just wishing to address the board. This isn't going to get into a debate. The fact of the matter is the vote was made, the vote is done. It's nothing, it's in stone now, I believe. I don't think we could change it unless we rescind our votes, and I don't foresee that happening. So, any other citizens wishing to address the board?
I just have one question.
Please go to the left. Please come up. State your name for the record. We don't have it in the minutes.
Hi, my name is Judy Mattarelli. I live at 1215 Porter Place, Lockport, Illinois. I'm new to this meeting. I've not been here before. But I thought it was an interesting point that was made. And I don't know any of you people. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I just would like to ask the question. On the September 6th letter, in the page 15, who did this come from?
That's right. Let's get back to this. Page 15, you said?
Yes.
People on page 2.
People on page 16.
Page 15 in the packet.
People on page 16.
The
It's
people
on
on
page
page
16. That's the second page of that letter. There's Ned Parker, Will County Board, District 9. Steve Delich, Will County Board, District 7. And Mike Freccaroni.
These are all Will County Board members. What do they have to do
I'm
with?
sorry?
These are all Will County Board members. What do they have to do with the work of the
I didn't
township?
ask for the rest. They just sent me a letter. Am I supposed to not put it in the packet? I put everything in the packet that was presented to me. I tried to be fair with everybody.
I understand what you're saying. I also didn't think it was appropriate that it came as an extra page with no signature.
Like I said,
I mean, because I know nothing about this. I'm just,
Again, this board-
former teacher who just likes things I's dotted, T's crossed.
again, like I said, I just received it. I put it out there the way I received it. I didn't change anything. I didn't want to give anybody any advantage. We put everybody out there that put their names in. The vote happened, and it happened the way it happened. We you have to accept that vote. You know. Any other citizens wishing to address the board here tonight? For the highway. Seeing none, we'll move on to other business. I don't have it on my agenda, but we usually... we usually have a highway commissioner's report. And I don't know why it's not on the agenda, but we can get that. Jim, do you have a report or anything?
Well, being my first meeting, I don't have a lengthy report, but I was finishing up the wood chipping project and catching up on all the heavy rain damage that happened just a week ago. And other than that, just getting familiar with the highway department and roads.
All right. I don't believe I have any other business in this meeting, so I would ask for an adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Moving on to our general assistance. Everybody should have in their packet the minutes of the monthly meeting of September 10th. I do need a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Are there any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We have the bills of $12,579.51.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
I got a second. Are there any questions of the bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Delaney,
Yes.
Supervisor Alarico,
Yes.
Trustee Boyce.
Yes.
Thank you. Any citizens wishing to address the board for the general assistance fund? Hearing none, we'll go on to new business. I really have no new business in general assistance. I do have in your packets, you should have the financial breakdown, and your monthly financial monthly report. We did have 8 new applications. 3 applications were not returned, 5 were. 1 application was from the previous month. So it's 6 total applications. Of the returned applications, we're waiting for more information. 1 was processed. I think we have 2 right now that are approved for general assistance. So we have 1 on emergency assistance and 2 on general assistance for this month. I have no other business in general assistance. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. All right, moving on to our senior fund. Again, in your packet, you have your minutes of the monthly meeting of September 10th, 2019. I do need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I've got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Any citizens wishing to address the board here tonight for the senior fund? Seeing none, we'll go on to new business. I do have on the agenda a motion to approve approval of the use of the senior bus for Lockport Love on December 14th. I asked to get some paperwork from Lockport Love and didn't send me anything. I think it got confused with something, but anyway, I want to explain what this is. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what Lockport Love is. It's an organization that's in Lockport that takes donations. It works really hard with the poor in Lockport. They do a lot of work. And what they do now is, at Christmas time, they pick a family that's in very bad shape and has a lot of needs. They go to that house and give them a Christmas tree, I think, and give them presents and give them financial aid and all that. And it's been in the past that when they do pick this house and they go there, a fire truck goes there, cops' cars go there, everybody that is welcome to go there, and they follow everybody. It's gotten to the point where there's too many cars, and they're asking if they can use our bus, so we can do this all at one time. I think it's a pretty good idea. I would entertain a motion to allow Lockport Love to use our bus.
I'll second that motion.
I've got a motion by Barbara Boyce, a second by Barbara Delaney. Any questions before I?
Yeah, I have a question. So would our driver be driving the bus?
Our drivers will be driving the bus, yes. And that's why I have it on the agenda, because there'll be a little cost of paying the bus driver. So, any other questions? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Supervisor Wicker?
Yes.
Trustee Boyce?
Yes.
Trustee Delaney?
Yes.
Motion
And
carries.
then you still have to do bills.
We didn't do
Have
the
to do
bills.
bills for senior fund too?
Oh, did I skip over the bills?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this meeting done.
Sorry, you were just checking to see if I was paying attention. I'm
I can
reading
read,
tonight.
we have the bills, I'm sorry, $55,771.12.
I'll make that motion to pay the bill.
I got a motion to pay the bills by Barbara Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. Any questions of the bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call?
Trustee Boyce?
Yes.
Trustee Delaney?
Yes.
Supervisor Wicker?
Yes. All right. I'm sorry, I skipped it. Okay, going on to old business, I know we've talked about it a lot, but I just want to bring to everybody's attention, obviously, that actually we're through 2 days of it. We have one more day of our senior breakfast this year. We do this every year for 3 days, and it's always like the first week of October. We have a breakfast for all our seniors. All we ask is for you to call, put your name on the list, and we do it for 3 days in a row. And we get good crowds there. It's probably about 150 people each day. It's been doing it for about 12 years, 10, 12 years now. We've been doing this.
And Ron, do you have the dates for next year reserved yet?
Actually, I know we're talking about that today at the breakfast. We're going to bring those dates in.
Okay.
It's always at the first week of October.
Right.
So and he's going to make sure that we get that on the list.
Okay.
Other than that, any other questions about the senior breakfast?
I would just like to add, since you are talking about breakfast, just might as well, since it's under the senior, in regards to the veterans breakfast, just a reminder that November 16th, we are having our first annual veterans breakfast. Same procedure that for the senior breakfast, if you know any veterans and a significant other or spouse are able to attend this event, just call the township and make a reservation.
And I will just, I don't mean to, and that's wonderful, but it is for all veterans, not even if they're not seniors. So that's why I have it.
Oh, I got you. All right. I was saying,
It's worth saying twice.
Okay.
So,
But the time is from 9 to 11. It's on a Saturday, and it's going to be held at Prairie Bluff Golf Course, just like our senior breakfast is being held. And Ron's going to talk about it again.
Other than that, I know last month I had mentioned for our attorney that we have a resident that rides or wants to ride the bus and has ridden our bus before, that wants to bring on a comfort animal. We've had conversations with her. We've told her what the rules are for this kind of a situation. And basically what we do is we ask that anybody that wants to bring a comfort animal on the bus, that it be contained in some kind of a carrier or, so it's not just loose on the bus, because if a comfort animal isn't trained like a service animal. A service animal, we have to let them on the bus. We have no problem having them on the bus. I don't have a problem with comfortable being on the bus, but it has to be contained in some kind of a carrier, or they make those little purses where you put the little dogs in. Well, she's not very happy with it. The last conversation I got from her was she's going to get a hold of every disabled person in Lockport. They're going to be protesting in front of our building, and she's already called the fire department on me, the police department on me, the mayor on me, and the list goes on and on what she's going to do to me. So I just want to let our attorney know I may have to have you write a letter to address this. I'll let you know if I want to do that, but I think that's, if I get any more phone calls on this, I think this has to come from our attorney.
Okay.
All right. Other than that, I have nothing else in senior fund. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. All right, moving on to our town fund. Again, you have the minutes of the monthly meeting of September 10th, 2019, and the special meeting on September 12th, 2019. The minutes are in the packet. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
We got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions in the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Approval of the bills. We have bills of $127,481.
Sorry, Ryan. Are you going to do it for the special meeting as well? On September 12th?
I thought we did it both at the same time.
Okay.
I announced it both.
Okay. Sorry.
Do we need to do them separate? Do we need to do them separate?
Usually you do them separate.
All right.
But I'm a rookie clerk, so who knows?
I need a motion to, for the minutes, to approve the minutes for the special meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions in the minutes for the special meeting? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We have the bills of $127,481.26.
I'll make the
We need a
motion.
motion to pay the bills.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions of the bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call?
Trustee Delaney?
Yes.
Supervisor Berkeley?
Yes.
Trustee Boyce?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Any citizens wishing to address the board for the town tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to the assessor's report.
I only have one thing tonight. I just wanted to remind everyone that on October 24th from 5:30 to 7:30, Barb Delaney and I are sponsoring in the township a trunk or treat. This is a free event for all of our kids to come in, safe environment. We'll have decorated trunks out in the parking lot. We have 6 trunk or treat alley where they have different rooms. We will have 6 games in here that's set up. They'll get prizes for that.
Free food, free hot dogs that are going to be served. Debbie does a great job getting a lot of volunteers to help out with this event. So there's going to be food, entertainment. We're having a costume contest. We have all different age groups for the costume contest. And it's getting bigger and better every year. And the weather's been cooperating.
Yes.
So,
And we still have room for more trunks if anybody's interested. We have 10 right now, but the more the merrier, so.
it's a great opportunity for any local businesses who want to come out and, give candy and get your name out there a little bit for the trunk or treat.
All right. Thank you very much. Anything else on you? Okay. It has been wonderful the last 2 years. We've done a couple of years now. The weather's been nothing but cooperative. If anybody wants to bring a car out, let us know for more cars
And volunteers.
and volunteers. out here. All right, we will have a clerk's report tonight. We'll move on to trustees' comments or suggestions.
I already made my comments about the veterans' breakfast.
Okay. All right, moving on to the building report. Actually, I've been working on this with Rutherford and Tonelli to do a topographical of our property. We've had issues with this. You know, we bought this property 3-4 years ago now, and the building is wonderful. We're using the heck out of it. It's been great. But we have 7 acres, and probably, you know, I'm just guessing off the top of my head, 3-4 of them in the back here, which are kind of wetlands and wet. And I would like to be able to do something with that property someday, whether it's a children's garden or just a nice place for people to sit and read or something, build something out of that. So I'd like to do a topographical and see what we can do to contain the water in one spot and where we can use most of the water. I would even be, you know, this is something that's a long-range plan, but if we were to have water detention pond that held water, we can have fishing for the kids or something. Or, you know, it'd just be a nice place to do it. But anyway, we can't get anything done there until we get a topographical things done to see what we can do and what has to be done. So they sent me the proposal. I handed it up tonight. They just looked at it. I'm not asking for a vote on this tonight because it's the trustees haven't had time to look at it. I haven't had time to look at it yet, but I just wanted to bring it up and make sure that you're all aware of what we're thinking here. The only other thing with the building, a couple things actually. Just tonight, I just found out, you know, we had our doors, we've had some issues with our doors locking and stuff like that, and trying to figure it out. We put new doors on the south side of the building, well, one's not locking to me. So I put a chain on it. So I have a company that put them in, and I'll be here first. I'll be calling them first thing in the morning to make sure they get out here and stand behind the product. So I don't know something with the key, won't lock it. Other than that, I do, as everybody can see behind me, there's all kinds of construction on the stage. Limestone Theater Group is going to be doing a play here October 10th, or 17th, 18th, and 19th at 7 o'clock. Special midnight showing on the 19th, October 19th. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of it. And if you want tickets to this, it's in a kind of hard way to read there. Yeah, we're at. I know they have a website. Yeah, contact our office. We'll get you their website. It's the House of Ushers. I guess I should tell you what the play is. It's the House of Ushers, Edgar Allan Poe. It is. I was told it's for adults, no children, because it is pretty. I guess there's some language in it and stuff like that. So, come to that if you would like. The only other, that's all I really have in the building report. Was there any questions from the trustees?
Well, I guess my question with this, once we review it for the Berger and Sinelli, is this going to be on next month's meeting?
I would like to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See what you guys think. We must look it over. And
okay.
See what you think. And see where we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, new business. I handed out the audits tonight to everybody. We have to accept the audit. There's nothing we can do about it. The audit is the audit. You know, we can't come and not change those numbers. I'd like to, no. It was a good audit. We always do have a good audit, but we do have to accept it. So I would entertain a motion to accept the audit.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion. I'll make a motion. Since you're in a good year, I have a motion by Barb Delaney, and second by Barb Boyce. Any questions on the audit? Hope that.
Well, since we just got it tonight, like you said, if we have the opportunity, we can look through it and come back with.
I would suggest, yeah, if there's questions and there's things that you want to question about it, I will invite Dave or somebody from the auditor's office to come to one of our meetings and answer all the questions.
Okay.
All right. So I do need a motion to accept that. Oh, we did. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. All right, last month I handed out paperwork for, we wanted to get new furniture. The assessor has indicated that she would like to get new furniture for her offices because the furniture she's had is, what, 20 years old?
1993.
Yeah, getting slivers off the desks. And when we moved here, we decided to save as much money as we can and we go into that after we're here for a while. So now she wants to get new furniture. I did hand it out, like I said. I believe everybody has a copy of that again in their packet. So I would entertain a motion to approve purchase of furniture for the assessor's office.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. Any questions?
It's the only question I would have is what are you doing with the old furniture then?
Yeah, we got that. We're just open for furniture.
And does anybody recycle it or repurpose it, or is it in that decent enough condition where you can donate it to someone?
If we can donate it, I'll donate it. Is there any, do we have to?
You have to declare a surplus.
Yeah.
At the next
It's not the agenda to have a
Okay.
surplus. And then we'll
All right.
donate it to
Yeah,
a law or something, anybody.
Yeah, they have that, bark.
If there's soft furniture, most places won't take soft furniture. Morningstar Mission will. Most other places won't. If it's hard furniture, you probably get rid of it a bunch of different ways, but soft furniture, yeah.
Well, like I said, once we surplus it, we'll try to find a place and that. I know where there's a dumpster. Highway department. Highway department will work with us.
We have an intergovernmental agreement with Iowa.
Yeah. So anyway, I have a motion, second, question, any other questions? And I would ask for a roll call.
Supervisor Enrico,
Yes.
Trustee Boyce,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Robert comes in for. All right. Old business, I have a few things, no motions need to be made, but just to bring up to date, we did send, last month, we approved a letter to go out to the residents of the unincorporated areas that are involved with garbage referendum. We had, I have the numbers right here. In August 26th, 2019, we had 347 customers that didn't pay their bills. Between then and September 19th, 81 of those people did pay the bill. We mailed out the letter. We mailed out 266 letters for non-payment to the customers. 88 paid. So as of 9/30, it's down to 178. So I feel pretty good. At least we're making some progress. I haven't talked since I was out of town, and we've had a lot of things going on here. I haven't talked to Homewood whether they want us to maybe try another letter or not. I'm sure they want us to. They don't want everybody. They'd like to see it at 0, but I think we're getting it down. And I think most people feel pretty comfortable with the garbage service that they're receiving. Pace Bus, you have in your packet a letter from Pace. I believe I sent it if I did. And I did this one in color. It just highlights, and this is just information. As I said last month, Pace is changing the way they have their bus stops. Now it used to be where you could just hail down a bus anywhere along the road and they would stop and pick you up. Now they have designated bus stops, and the ones that are highlighted here and out, this is welcome to anybody to see, but it's mostly through the Fairmont area where they have the bus stops now. So this is where the bus stops will be. So if anybody's interested, I'll have this put on our website so people can look it up. I'm just trying to get the information out there. But this is highlighted areas that are ones in Lockport. Garrett that talked about. That's really all I have at old business under meetings and correspondence. Oh, I do have, oh, I have that. We did receive a letter from the disabled veterans thanking us for their for our contribution to their golf outing. We, I believe, we put in two.
That was back in the summer.
Yeah, it is just a thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that. I think we had two signs for the two pole signs. The Veterans Breakfast is November 16th. Like I said, we are, I'm not going to really have to repeat everything was said, but we are planning a Veterans Breakfast. This is going to be our first one of, I hope, many. I hope it's going to turn out. We are starting to get people, I don't have the exact count. Yeah.
I asked Michelle this morning, and she said it's about almost close to 40.
Is it 40
So
people?
that's pretty good.
That's pretty
We
good.
still have time.
I did have, we are going to have some entertainment. Mr. Kaniva, Dr. Kaniva, Reno, his first name. So Mr. Kaniva is going to put together some songs, about half hour's worth of entertainment, singing, and basically what it is we're going to want everybody to get together and sing some patriotic songs at the breakfast. So hopefully that's going to work out. If not, we'll change it next year. We'll continue doing it, though. I'd like to honor our veterans, and you can't say enough about what they've done. Other than that, I don't believe I have any other business unless the trustees have something they want to bring up. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Alex Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Tara Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience.